Alright, this video is going to be just a quick tutorial on how to graph piecewise functions using Desmos. So I've got this problem, and this piecewise function has 3 different pieces. So what you're going to do is you're going to separate all 3 pieces and graph them individually, and you have to make sure you use the correct well, they're not really parentheses, they're set brackets in order to define the domain. So the first piece we're going to do is x cubed minus 7x. So I'm going to go and type that in. And then in order to do the domain, I'm going to use my squiggly brackets or my set brackets. And we're going to do where x is less than or equal to -3. So x is less than or equal to -3. Alright, and I don't see anything in the screen, and that's because if we kind of zoom out and move down, we can see that this is the piece from this side. And if you can move your little cursor by clicking on the graph and scrolling up and down, and we can see that there is a closed point at -3, -6, because at -3 that point should be included. Alright, the second piece that we're going to graph is just f of x equals 8, and it's going to be between -3 and 3. Again, I'm going to use my set brackets, and we're going to say -3 to 3, and you should see that appear up top. Now, if you notice that at -3 it should not be included, but at +3 it should. So if you click and drag, if you pull it all the way over to -3, it should say undefined with an open circle, and then all the way to the far right at 3, it is included at 3/8. And then finally, our third one is the square root of 2x plus 3. Did I say that right? Yep, 2x plus 3. And this is going to be where x is greater than 3. So again, we're going to use our squigglies. And we're going to say x is greater than 3. And this should not be included at 3 because it's not equal to, not included. So that is true. And then anything further on is defined there. So there is my piecewise function. Again, it's pretty simple in Desmos. You just separate the 3 pieces, and then from there you use your set brackets and the squiggly brackets, and you just define your domain, and it'll actually piece it up for you. I hope this helps, especially when you have to do some evaluating. If I were to ask you to evaluate the function, let's say it's 6, so I would go to the 6 and I'd scroll it over and get as close to it as I can, and then of course 6 is going to be 3.87. Or any value that I ask you to evaluate, you can do. If I ask you to evaluate at 1, then of course at 1 you can click and drag, and you can do 1/8. So it's just an easier visual way to see it through Desmos. And again, I hope this helps, and I hope this makes it super easy for you in the future.